maybe that should be the next Grappler video. Potentially. I could see it. I could see it. I mean, he is next in the line. God, I swear it's like I'm living with mad chance.
God, I just love Accent Core for the Wii.
Hey, do you mind keeping it down? Oh, let me grab mine.
So you say we run the Potemkin around?
You ain't winning.
2 hours later.
I can't believe you bet me one time. You're cheating,
just
you're not
better.
using the motion.
I'm just better. I'm just better. I'm just better.
Who does that? I'll get it. Oh, hello, GORO DAIMON. How you doing, man? Yeah.
I believe I was next for grab.
You were supposed to be next. Yes, this is true. Potemkin skipped you there.
What? Is he inside?
Yeah, he's inside.
Wait till I get my hands on him. Kazoo! My loyal fans! Hey, hey. 任務を遂行する。終わりだ。
Today we're going back to a very fun game to cover one of the fun grapplers from a series that's known to show 'em love. This fella was top tier and he was an absolute treat to play. What's up fellas, Panda here. Can you turn that down? What's up fellas, Panda here, and as you know we're trying to get 5,000 subscribers to cover a very fun version of Zangief, so let's keep going up and up. And I want to say thank you for showing me so much love and support for the last video talking about Missing Link Potemkin, where he was absolutely at his worst. And I want to appreciate you guys for checking it out, as this is a topic that's been covered a gajillion times, and I'm happy that you guys are still interested in that topic with my perspective. It made me very happy to see. I'm having a lot of fun doing these skits, so I'm probably going to keep doing it. It adds a bit more flavour to the video in my opinion. If you guys want to show me support, be sure to check out the membership system. You guys don't got it, but it's appreciated. Be sure to tell me what other grapplers to check out. You guys always tell me in abundance, and I feel like covering this one. He's been asked quite a few times, so hopefully you'll get what you want. Let's talk about what a grappler wants.
The people already know.
Can you stop showing cheek?
Yes, dude.
A grappler tends to be a character that lacks the neutral, right? Tends to lack the fundamentals to kind of poke or play a projectile war game, but they make up for it due to their killer monstrous power. So once they get in, they can find that strike throw and put you in hell. If you don't avoid the throw, you'll take damage, and if you don't avoid the strike, you'll take a lot more. But when it comes to grapplers, let's talk about the game that's loved by its community. Alright, here we go. AOF 98.
It all began in 94, kept on rolling in 95, this is where it plays in 96, it came to an end in 97, and now it comes, and here we go. KOF is here again. Nothing's gonna stop it. It's 1998.
KOF 98 Ultimate Match is a modern rendition of KOF 98. It came out with rollback, and this game rocks. The game mechanics are fun and in-depth, and it takes a good bit of time to get good at. This game is a 4-button tag fighter that doesn't use the tag systems that every other fighting game uses. This game is known for having the 4 different jumps that KOF is known for. Jump, super jump, hop, and super hop. Anti-airing can be tough in this game because you need to poke at short hops and anti-air normal jump-ins, but on the positive, counter-hitting a jump-in led to some big damage. What made this game sick was that you could choose whatever system you wanted. You could pick the advanced, which gives you the ability to run, roll, and build meter through bars which are built up throughout the fight, and the maximum of the meter goes up with every dead teammate, so you start with 3 and you can move up to 5. The other meter system, Extra, lets you build meter through powering up, get spot dodge, and dash instead of run. And what's cool about this is that when your health is low, you gain access to infinite supers, but this isn't really important for the grappler we're going to be talking about, as he mostly used advanced. It is such a sick game, and it makes me wish that SNK would go back to his sprite style. Don't get me wrong, Fatal Fury looks good, but KOF? It's a bit iffy if I'm honest. Looking at 15, like, I played this game, I loved this game, and you know. It's time for the big boy of today's video. Judo Master, Seismic Slammer, GORO DAIMON!
Ready, go!
Daimon is a practitioner of judo. This martial art is pretty good for grabbing and clinching. Goro is part of the main team of the game, working alongside Kyo and Benimaru. He's a massive fella, but plays into the classic gentle giant archetype. He has a massive arsenal of grabs, but the main thing that stands out is his seismic abilities. He can slam the ground to cause earthquakes in a fight. Kind of a mental power I have for a grappler. His name is Daimon, and the Dai part of his name means big, and the Mon means gate. It's probably saying that he's a big gate you're gonna have to break through. Very funny thing about his design are those shoes. They're long! It's time for the story. Daimon was a gold medalist for judo in the Olympics, and he wanted to seek bigger challenges. He faced Kyo in a Japan mixed martial arts tournament and lost. He got into top 3 with Benimaru coming second, and he became friends with this 3 and created the team that he would go into for the King of Fighters. On the day before the big tournament, his mentor wanted him to return to his career in judo, and he promised only after fighting in the KOF tourney he would do exactly that. He came back and brought fame to Japan through his acts of judo. During his absence in the future games, he came across his love. He got married and he had a son, and this man led to have his own dojo as a mentor, a husband, and a father. Just a nice story overall. Not any insane stakes, a fella discovering what he is passionate about. Get his teeny tiny negatives before we talk about what made them fun and unique and interesting to play.
He gets a good video.
Yes, he does, because he rightfully waited in line. Daimon had very few negatives as a top tier grappler. His very few weaknesses are the usual for a grappler. He's massive, but he's not slow because the movement of KOF is essentially being hyperactive Street Fighter. He's paired with advance to run and roll through projectiles, so getting in was never an issue. Due to how big he was, he could be clipped by attacks a lot though. He'd go in for a jump and he could get clipped, a projectile could catch his landings. His size was about the only issue he had. Donors were an issue, but not to the level of any other grappler in any other game, because Daimon had something called power. He had tools to actually get in and deny a lot of this. Time to see what made him so fun and so powerful. Where do I begin? I guess with the normals, as normals all had some sort of disjoint. Looking at priority when attacking. Looking at any of these buttons, you're like, wow, that's a good hitbox. Crouching A is godlike, coming out in 3 frames, cancelable on block, and neutral on block as well. So the main games were plenty with this tool. He also had some great anti-airs like his far A, far C, and one of his best anti-airs, normal far D. And he also had free C, which was an amazing tool to use on counter hit. We're talking like 30% on this too. Their buttons were also ridiculous, like JD. It was amazing on short hops for pressure or tick throw setups. He also had this sick normal where he does this chunky chop. It destroys projectiles and that's about it. It looked cool. It wasn't an overhead, but it looked like an overhead. So you see, his normals are pretty crazy. They all had a usage, they all had some type of use case for a lot of these normals. Some of them without a doubt are some of the best normals in the game. His special moves were also solid. This is where he gets the most powerful from. The main thing I want to note is how he countered zoners. It was this tool right here, the seismic slam Jirai Shin. This tool is amazing as a counter zoning tool as he will slam the floor and hit the enemy. You can avoid it by jumping, but there was something else it could do. So if you jumped, he would anti-air you with an air throw. That's not all this tool had. It could also OTG, meaning if you got knocked down, you would also get hit on the floor. It could also hit unblockable in some get-up situations. It was super difficult to get, but once you got the timing down, it was consistent. It was so strong. That was just one tool. That was us talking about one tool. We still even talk about his command grab. His command grab came out in 0 frames, meaning on get up this was an instant tool that came out. So if the opponent didn't do a well-timed meaty, they were getting grabbed. It was long and it was incredible. It gave a combo with a slam, but the main thing that stood out was the Oki. He had so much time to do whatever he wanted. This roll was good to use as an Oki tool for those antsy players that want to do anything on get up because it let you all time normal. So roll was used as an Oki or a combo tool, and his grab mixed with that meant that he was a monster on knockdown. So at this iframe command grab, so if he wanted proper iframes to escape a knockdown or a poke scenario, You could just send it, and the Oki on this was also fantastic. It also had this counter tool, which was actually pretty good, gave a ton of Oki as well. But it wasn't used a ton, it was mostly used on short hops. He also had this overhead slam that was good from poking due to his long reach with no heart box. Do you see that? You could also OTG if you weren't comfortable with the slam timing, so if you wanted to do an easier tool, this was the play. His combo game was also monstrous, as a few hits led to a ton of damage. This guy was hurting with pokes, never mind landing a full combo. He also had two super grabs, one with armor and the other one having instant startup. Both fantastic as defensive tools, and the instant was used as a punish a lot of the time, and the armor was mostly used if you wanted more damage to cash out. Fun fact, he had this running throw. It was never used due to how slow it was, just a silly tool that would get you caught in high level, but there were some people that could still make it work. Movement was good, he can counter zoning, he had high damage. There isn't anything lacking with this guy. Just a complete toolkit based around doing damage, control, and power. I like this design, just a grappler that wants to run it down. There's not many grapplers that do that, they either wall or whatever, but you don't see them actually run it down like Abrams on Blue, you know what I mean? However, I do think if we were to balance them in a modern design, I think the thing that has to go is the unblockable setups with that slam, right? Without a doubt, that's one of the strongest things. And the other thing that I'd probably change is just toning down his damage just a wee bit, right? Don't get me wrong, he's supposed to be a high damage character, but his damage is ridiculous. If you got rid of Seismic Slam and those super strong damage setups that he had, I think he becomes a bit more balanced and a still solid character. He just isn't killing you in 2 or 3 interactions, now he's killing you in 4 and 5, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm not saying doing it now, right? The game has a culture, it has a build-up, it has a community. You can't make changes like this. It's unfair and it's silly, right? It's kind of like changing Fox's down being melee. You would never do such a thing because it's got such an impact on the FGC and the Smash community. Besides that, enough of the tangent, time to see the fellas that really made them work and stand out. Say, Daimon at high level looks like an absolute monster. You've got to give love to the players every time. And I've got to say, I love Daimon. He was super fun and unique. Just a grappler that wanted to run it down, play poke, play neutral, and didn't give a damn about your toolkit. He wanted to just assert his dominance, assert his power. And that's what you saw with this guy. And I kind of like that. You don't see grapplers do that unless they use armor a lot of the time. This guy was just like, no, I will poke and you'll take the hit. But yeah, fellas, if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. Try to have 5,000 subscribers to cover a fun version of Zangief. We're getting there, that's for sure. We're very close, actually. And if you want to support me, check out the membership system, as it's a nice little tip system. You don't gotta do it, but it's really appreciated. And you guys tell me who to cover next. You guys always do, and I've always seen it. Snow White surprisingly looked interested in me as a really badly designed grappler in the modern day, so that could be potentially a video in the future. It looked interesting. But yeah, that'll be the end. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys at the Grappler Church.
That guy was a real asshole.
Don't say that. He was a gentleman and he didn't like you. Let's be honest.